Hey guys, what's up? So last video we took a look at Pontus and their army, and today we're gonna be looking at them on the campaign, how they start and how they fare. So let's take a look at that and stay tuned. Here we are on the campaign map with Pontus, and we are going to be analyzing everything about them on the start of the campaign. So how do they start? They start with two cities, Mazaka and Sinop. Mazaka has 2,400 people and Sinop has 5,000 people, as you can see right out of the gate. So while Mazaka is not a very great city, here with Sinop, you do have a decent city to start your empire from. Then you are able to recruit every kind of basic unit. You can see here, you can recruit peltasts in Mazaka, you can recruit some Eastern infantry, some pajama infantry, and some Pontic light cav on Sinop, and light cav is pretty good. They throw the javelins, and as far as javelin cavalry goes, these guys are the best ones out there. I mean, not the best, but the best early game javelin throwing cavalry unit out there. That's more likely. They have access to the heavy Pontic cavalry as well, which is a great unit and also throws javelins. Anyway, you start with 3,000 denarii out of the gate right at turn 1 with 3,000 denarii. That is bad, that is very low. You should start with 5,000, but I think these factions that you're not supposed to be playing, they all will start with 3,000, so we need to cope with that. And then your projected profits, let's just round it up to 900 denarii per turn. And if you put the cities at very high tax rate, like I am going to do right now just to demonstrate this, you are going to be making around 1,700 denarii out of it. There we go, 1,700 denarii out of it. Per turn, which is pretty good, I would say, and they're still pretty happy about that. So you can go set off right on your conquests with this army, maybe fitted a couple more units and go on about your conquering. And of course, you have access to the mines in Sinop right in turn 1. I don't think I would do this. Then again, maybe, because it's quite expensive, and then you will not be able to do much more elsewhere. All right. So this is your starting situation here as Pontus. So let's go into the tactics. What can you do with Pontus? What is your early game, expansion opportunities? All right, there we go. So you can either go east, west, or south. If you go to the east, you're going to be fighting Armenians, and this is pretty good. Look at that. You have these mountain passes here, so there's not a lot of ways that your enemies could go around you. So you can just keep moving forward until you hit the Armenians and take their cities. You can move west and just go for Ansara, Nicomedia, and then Byzantium. And of course, this is going to be an important city to hold, Byzantium and both Byzantium and Nicomedia, because you will control the flow of ships through and from the Black Sea, which is always really nice. Then you can of course go to the south, and in the south they're going to be fighting the Seleucids and maybe the Egyptians later on. But this is also a good strategy, because you will be taking out Tarsus and Antioch. They will be absorbed into your empire, and these guys are pretty good cities. And then if you keep going south and attacking the Egyptians, you can have access to all of these ports like Sidon, Jerusalem, and Salamis. So a lot of really good cities with a lot of resources that are very worth having. Though the Egyptians might give you some trouble, the Seleucids early game are pretty weak, so you're probably going to be able to defeat them. Anyway, these are the three ways that you can go about it. And which one is the easiest? I think the easiest one is just to go through Armenia, because they are as weak as you are in the early game. And it's one less enemy that you're going to have. However, the Seleucids, going for the Seleucids is a close second, because if you hit the Seleucids early, they don't have much to fight you with. However, you got to remember that your army is pretty weak as well. So, going for the rebel settlements, it's the safest way, but these settlements are fairly small. Byzantium is not really that good. So, yeah, that is not like... It's a bet that you can make, and it might pay off, it might not pay off. It depends if anybody else attacks you. So I would rather just attack someone preemptively, I think. Anyway, let's go to the pros and cons of Pontus. I think, yeah, I think this is not a bad faction, actually. But let's go to the pros. And first off, we need to take a look at the temple buildings that they have. They have 3 options. They have the Temple of Zeus, that gives them law and happiness. They have the Shrine of Aphrodite, or the Temple of Aphrodite. It gives them some population growth bonus, which is pretty good, 0.5% per level. And then you have the Shrine of Hercules, that gives you public order due to happiness. However, these temples are not that great. Oh, by the way, the Temple of Hercules also gives you experience to your men as you level it up. Anyway, it's not that good. The temples are not that great, and I think you will always be choosing for the Shrine of Zeus because of that happiness boost and the public order due to law. That's it. That's what you should do, I think. You know, if you want to build the Hercules one on Sinop on or Mazaka, then go for it. But I wouldn't. I don't think it's worth it because you only get up to 20% happiness bonus. And but so they have the Zeus temple with 20% to law, 20% to happiness, and then of course they have the secret police network or the law enforcement line that gives them up to 20% law on your city. So you will have, you know, a mediocre boost to public order, but you know, for your economy, this law will do work wonders, especially if you start expanding your empire, which you will for sure. Um, so you have the law temple and the building, which is gonna give you a 40% boost to your public order boost due to law. And then you get pretty strong army early to mid game, or I mean mid to late game, and you know, you can go and check all the units and my comments on all the units on the other video about Pontus and the battle tier list video for Pontus. You know, just go ahead and check it out. It should be on the screen somewhere right now. Alright, then you have a unique defensible start position. This is one that I enjoy, actually. I haven't done a lot of campaigns with Pontus. I don't think I have ever done one. But, you know, it's a good defensible position. Look at that. You have just paths that go along. So if we get on my guy over here, you can either go through this path or through this path. And that's the only way to get into Sinop from Armenia, which means anyway you're gonna have to go through these 2 bridges, so might as well just put a guy on this bridge. And if you're attacking from the Seleucids, there's only one way to really go about it, which is going through this mountain pass. You also have this mountain pass, but so you'll have 2 bridges here that you will have to defend, but that's pretty easy to figure out where they're coming from, so no problem. And of course you have plains over here, which is not so easy to defend. However, yeah, you have rivers, right? You have rivers to get that, so you're defended by a bunch of river passes that if you're able to defend all of these, you're pretty much impregnable here. But it's pretty nice that you'll have mountain passes to go against the Seleucids, you'll have mountain passes to go against the Armenians, and if you fight off all of these guys, you'll have the sea, so everybody will have to just naval invade you, which is pretty nice. So you can actually bunker down out here and just take all of this part of Anatolia and just grow it up if you want, if you so wish. Then you have that nearby enemies are weak early on as well, so you know, you start with a pretty shitty army on the beginning, but you know, the Armenians start with a pretty shitty army early on as well, and the Seleucids also start with a pretty shitty army early on as well. They only have access to the citizen hoplites, while the Armenians have access to horse archers and pajama people. You know, they are the pajama men, they are the pajama horsey boys, and that's so that's not too good. And you're in pretty much the same situation, except with you know, Pontic light cav. And of course, then there's the last thing, which is I think they don't get old fast, because you know, you're fighting Armenians, then you're gonna be fighting Parthians, maybe the Seleucids, the Greeks, the Egyptians, you know, and maybe the Thracians, maybe the Scythians, maybe even the Macedonians. Every single faction that's in their sphere of influence is different from each other, and that is a massive plus, because it's fun, okay? You're not gonna be fighting the same faction in every single battle, so it keeps the game fresh for longer. So that's one thing that I need to consider for Pontus. It's just they're good at that. Now, what are the cons for for Pontus? And it's, their starting army is pretty weak, so you cannot do that much. Even though your enemies, your immediate enemies, are kind of weak as well, you're not going to be able to do much against them. You can defeat them, but the battles might be close because you are just as weak as them. You start with low funds and low population, which might be a problem, especially if you are in several wars. That's going to be a problem, and you're starting low funds. You can fix it by carefully managing your economy over the first 10 to 20 turns, but it's still something you need to watch out for. You will not have the potential to recruit as many units as you would like. Then again, you don't have the population either, so those go hand in hand. Yeah, but that's generally speaking, that's bad. Then only up to 60% public order boost. Yeah, having an 80% public order boost is ideal. They only have 60%, which means that late game they might have trouble holding on to different cities, especially if you don't have, of course, the statue of Zeus. And then their early game army is also weak. Now, this is not about the units. This is just about the early game army. Look at this army is not that great. You just get peltists here, and in Sinope you don't get any melee cav, and your starting units are so bad that your starting army is just bad, and the Seleucids have it better. And, I don't know about the Armenians. But yeah, I think even the Parthians have it a little bit better than the Pontus when it comes to this. And then, of course, another con, and this is the last one, but maybe not the least, is that there are 3 rebel settlements. The nearest 3 rebel settlements, they are actually very, very small. Like Ancyra, no buildings. Nicomedia, no buildings, and then you have Byzantium with only 3 buildings. Might be, you can go for the 3 of them, and it's one of the strategies. Like, if you want to go to the west, you have to take the 3 of them, but you're not gonna be making much because of that. That's why I will not go for this one early on. I'd rather just fight the Seleucids or the Armenians rather than these rebel settlements, because they are pretty small and they will take a long time to actually be able to support themselves to be sustainable. And this is it for the pros and cons for Pontus. So now it is time to give them a very, very nice rating. And, well, actually, to be fairly honest, I don't know if this is going to be a very nice rating. I can tell you that it's not an S tier for sure. They have too many downsides. It's not an A tier for sure. Again, they have too many downsides, like their economy, their population, the fact that the public order boost that they can get, the early game very weak army, the starting army being weak as well. So they cannot be an A tier unit. Later down the game they can be very, very strong because of their army, but they have to get there first. Because they are actually fun and their position is so unique, I'm gonna have to give them a B tier, guys. So Pontus on the campaign, what is their tier? It's a B tier from me. Thank you guys so much for watching this, and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Leave a like, and you came this far, might as well just press that subscribe button. Don't forget to press the bell button as well, and I will see everyone on the next video. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave a comment. See you on the next one.
Hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitch, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you so much.